John Wick Chapter 4 sees Keanu Reeves return to his action epic alongside franchise regulars Ian McShane and Lance Reddick in the latter's final acting role before his untimely passing. Normally, this is the part where I explain the plot, but being honest, I don't think I even could, even if I had screenwriter Shay Hatton and Michael Finch alongside me giving me prompts. But basically, this is where John Wick starts in the desert. He travels from Osaka to Paris to do John Wick things over and over again. And in the style of its three predecessors, this is like Top Gear for sociopaths. And the way you have dads look at Top Gear and they're like, whoa, yeah, oh, look at that Ferrari. I can totally relate to driving that and not a Fiat Punto. This is like, oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, and totally know how to behead a guy with nunchucks on a spoon. This franchise has come a long way from its premise of being an unadulterated, leave your brain at the door revenge story about a bereaved husband whose puppy is murdered during a burglary. But oh, wait, turns out that he's a legendary badass assassin. The series is at its best when it just steers away from even trying to have a plot and sticks to the action, because I could not give a single fuck about the likes of The High Table or Marquise or Markers or whether a hotel is consecrated or not. Every time this became a weird culty Freemasons type movie, I mentally checked out of it all. They got back to basics with the third movie, but at 2 hours and 49 minutes, this is the longest and most John Wick movie to date, for better and worse. Look, at this stage, we're 4 movies in, and if you've seen the preceding 3, you don't need me to tell you if you'd like this or not. If you love John Wick movies, you'll absolutely adore this. If you think it's all a bit of nonsense, then they double down on that nonsense, and you're going to feel that way at the end of this. All of the typical John Wick tropes are back, like fighting in a nightclub while people not directly impacted by the violence continue to dance as if nothing is happening there, which I've heard praised out there as like, oh, that just shows how the fighting is like a dance. To me, it just makes the people look stupid, because like someone's getting stabbed right beside you. Don't keep raving. No matter how much E you've taken, stop raving. Someone is getting stabbed with a sword and a fork, by the way, and a pencil is at one stage. You need to stop dancing. They have a weird obsession for violence towards and by dogs, which again, I'm just not here for. I don't want to see. Just leave your little puppy obsession alone. I don't want to see violence on dogs or by dogs. They need to have a token highly skilled woman, which I'm not giving out. I'm not being going full incel, don't worry, and saying, oh, you had a woman in this, it should be a man movie. That's not what I mean. If you want to have loads of women, have loads of women, but they just have one per movie who's like really skilled, and it's like, here is now the woman, where it's like really tokenistic and forced. You have John Wick falling from spectacular heights and just getting up from situations where humans would just cease to have a spine. You have running out of bullets, but then throwing the gun. And then, of course, you have Keanu Reeves just saying, yeah, a lot. He does that quite a lot in this movie. For what it's worth, again, I'm not going to convince you of whether you're going to like this or not. You either will or won't based on how you feel about John Wick. I did have a lot of fun when this movie stopped trying to feed me any plot or lore, while also thinking back and being left wondering why the fuck certain things happened. Like, why was there a card game? Why people were branded? Why John Wick's whereabouts was announced in code by a radio DJ personality only for the benefit of one person? Surely there's a more efficient way than broadcasting it over the airwaves. Or why Lawrence Fishburne did a Bruce Buffer style intro for John Wick for no audience while he was just walking the dog in the sewer. Thinking about any of this does it zero favors. Although, you know what, in hindsight, I do actually kind of get a kick out of the cheese. I'm enjoying the cheesiness of having all of them. So maybe I liked it more than I thought. There's also other absolutely iconic scenes in this, though, and characters as well. Donnie Yen's blind assassin Kane may be one of my favorite action characters of all time. He is instantly iconic, and I loved the element and how they got creative with having him be blind as well. I thought that really added a lot to it. It's also supremely directed by Chad Stahelski, and the set pieces are phenomenal. You think the last hour of the movie where it just gets down to action is all spectacular. It's all killer. You have scenes at the Arc de Triomphe where you have a battle scene on a staircase, and they come to mind as absolutely incredible. Like I said, look, I'm not going to tell you if you're going to like this or not. You're probably not jumping in fresh at film number 4. So you have your mind made up on whether this series is for you or it's for not. But whatever way you feel about it, it just is very, very very much that. The things you like are back and better than ever. The things you hate are more annoying than ever. So all I can really do is say that that's that. It's a really, really, really John Wick movie. It's nearly 3 hours of John Wick. And all I can do is really sign off in traditional Keanu Reeves style and say, yeah.